If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? You'll fade the words I will choke.
Happy Kickoff Thursday to everyone in the sports universe. It is September the 8th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook pages. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvelis. What's up, Aaron?
Not much. We are now officially fully engaged in all football. College has given us a little taste so far with weeks 0 and 1, and now the NFL is here, and it's just an exciting time. Fall's around the corner, and just one of my favorite times of the year. So I woke up this morning with a little extra pep in my step to talk about the NFL being back.
It is awesome when they're both back because college football is cool, but when you get them both at the same time, the possibilities of topics are absolutely endless. So
Agreed.
That's fun.
100% agreed.
Yes, go to www.mikeandaarondrive.com to shop our merchandise because hoodie season is coming up. So if you want to look fly like a couple white guys on the show, check out our shop, the website. You can also find other great things like Fanatics, our YouTube, Yahoo Fantasy link, Popple with the promo code, all kind of stuff is right there. MikeandAaronDrive.com. What a catchy name that is. And here we are. All right, Aaron, you ready for it?
I am ready.
Thursday night football. Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams, defending champion ring ceremony, Los Angeles Rams. Tonight, of course, is this on Amazon as an exclusive, or can I catch this on TV?
As far as I know, it's on TV. I think it's on what do you call it?
NFL Network?
NBC. No, NBC. I think it's on NBC.
Okay, cool. That would be cool. Oh, that's right, because it's the first game of the season. But I'm hoping going forward, I don't have to get a crappy Amazon Prime subscription. Sorry.
No, you know what? I will say this. If you download, now they could have changed it from this year, but if you download the Yahoo Sports app, you can watch all the primetime games on your phone. I don't know if that's changed, but at least as of last year, you could do that. So I don't know. That's what I used to do, like at work, or if I was like driving on the way home, I would put it on my phone and then connect the Bluetooth to the speakers to listen to it. So
drive safe. I also have the NFL app for us too, so maybe that'll work.
That should probably be okay as well.
Cool. Well, the Buffalo Bills are, in my opinion, surprisingly 2.5-point favorites here, and the total is set at 52. For me personally, if I had to take a bet in this game, I'll just say it right now, for me it would be the under 52. I thought we would go like a 27-24 kind of game when I first predicted this game weeks ago. And the more I looked at it, I'm like, people are wanting a shootout here. I don't think we're going to get one.
It's an interesting question always is, how do the champs feel when you have, all the pomp and circumstance, the ring ceremony, the banner raising, everything that this team went through. And look, you have guys on this team that the question mark for me is going to be, okay, Aaron Donald's got his ring. Jalen Ramsey's got his ring. Matthew Stafford's got his ring, and he's having elbow problems here in the beginning of the season. Like, how much does this game truly matter? It's an AFC opponent, so it's not like any tiebreakers will really be involved end of the season. They're the Fat Cats. They're coming to celebrate, a prior engagement. And I know this all sounds crazy, but it seems like this happens sometimes in these games where the team that's getting their rings and getting all the accolades doesn't tend to come out too motivated in week 1. So I'm leaning the under with you as well, simply because I'm not sure what we're going to see out of the Rams. I think the Bills are going to begin this season as the hunted. They're projected to win the Super Bowl. They are this year's favorites. They haven't quite gotten through that glass ceiling. I mean, just because they're the favorites, they only won 11 games last year. I know that they've theoretically improved this year on the talent side, but they still have that chip on their shoulder of, we can't beat the Chiefs. So I think this is a statement game for Buffalo in terms of wanting to get into everybody's mind that, yes, we are going to be on our game every single week for 17 weeks this year. Like, no letdowns, no setbacks, no 9-6 beatdowns by the Jaguars this year. But yeah, I think the under's the play here. Two high-flying offenses usually would lead you to believe it's an over, but beginning of the season, I think they're just going to kind of feel each other out in the beginning.
If this over-under was a 51, I would, like I said, originally I thought this game would be lower scoring, and I thought 27-24 was kind of high for me. But if it was 51, I might be scared to death of it. But 52, I feel like you're basically saying the game has to be like 28-24 at that point, and I will see one team scoring 4 touchdowns. Or if the Bills reach 4 touchdowns, I will see the Rams hanging right there with them because of what you just said. Now, do I put a lot of stock into ring ceremony games? Only in basketball. Because basketball there is a lot longer season, and so is baseball. But I feel like in football, these games do matter. Especially, I mean, I could argue for the Rams. They've got to deal with possibly the Cardinals, but they got to deal with the 49ers, who, in my opinion, Kyle Shanahan has the number of Sean McVay. Like, it's interesting to look at the ring ceremony aspect of this, but I don't put much stock into it. I did read this morning, Adam Schefter's reported that Matthew Stafford did have off-season elbow procedure. I don't know why that comes out now, but it goes to your point about the whole elbow problems he's having.
Well, it's been floating around all off season ever since camp opened up, so I don't think it's new news into that point. But maybe Schefter wanted to remind us because he likes to throw out little bits of knowledge when they're not necessarily needed here in this spot. I do have a prop for this game. It's gone down significantly. But I'm still kind of on it at 92.5 is where I locked it in. It's at 90.5 right now. It's Cooper Kupp's reception yards. I'm taking the under in this game. I got it locked in at 92.5. As long as it stays above 90, I'd probably still play the under. I like to have that half. But that could change closer to game time. So if you can lock that in, that's a bet that I'm looking at here. Cooper Kupp under in his receiving yards, 92.5, which is now 90.5. Maybe it'll go back up. Maybe some people will start firing the over. Maybe it'll go back up before game time. But keep an eye on that one. I think I don't think there's going to be anything super sexy in terms of the LA Rams offense tonight.
I'm very surprised that it is actually 90. Like, this guy just balled out in the Super Bowl. And I don't know what they're. You also have the addition of Allen Robinson. I know he hasn't been technically all the way there yet, but that's a very interesting number there. 90 is a lot of yards for opening week when you just won the big game. So,
well, yeah, it opened up at 95.5. So, I mean, receivers traditionally you'll never see their total in the triple digits, but that's probably one of the higher ones you'll see throughout the course of the year. And there's no doubt Cooper Kupp can definitely achieve that. I just don't know if the offense is going to really provide anything of great value here to me from the LA Rams. I don't know. This is a really tough one because I still feel like if they want to be mentally and physically dominant, I think they can control the Bills. I think they can. I know that sounds crazy. Buffalo, everybody just is in love with Buffalo, but a road favorite to open up the season, I don't love it. Definitely feels like you could tease them down to 9 or 10 points.
Yeah, for sure. Like that way, in case like if they do win on a field goal late, I like that because I don't. Especially when you give me, especially when it's 2.5 and not 3. It's like you're basically telling me, "Oh, Buffalo wins by field goal. Fire the money now." Like, oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the Super Bowl favorites versus last year's Super Bowl champions. You're looking at the MVP candidate against a bona fide offense that obviously had to come back in the Super Bowl and beat the Bengals here. Um, if the Rams, like I said, if the Rams are focused and Sean McVay's got this team ready to compete this season, which I mean, based on our picks, I have them winning, a playoff spot, this year, potentially winning the division. I don't know. We'll see. That's a tough division. They definitely still can, but I don't know how much Matt Stafford's arm is going to be unleashed in the first game of the season. So yeah, the Cooper Cup underplay is really where I lean the best in this one. But if I had to make a pick, side or total, I'd probably be with you on the under in this spot.
That's good to start the year. I like that. I want to let the people know about WagerWire. We're happy to tell you about WagerWire, who's building an easy-to-use sports betting marketplace. For the first time ever, you'll be able to buy and sell bets. WagerWire shows you your best bets in one portfolio by syncing with your favorite sports books. Enter email at wagerwire.com to get early access and be entered to join a Week 3 WagerWire Live featuring legendary NFL quarterback Brett Favre. When we come back, it's a lot of college football games this weekend that I say are pretty good. We'll get to those and give you our best views of them. We run back to the AM Drive and stay tuned for our Super Bowl predictions in the final 7. You do not want to miss. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, welcome back here into the AM Drive. This is Thursday. It's our college football show here with myself and Michael Carvelis. And we got to tell you about Fanatics. It's very simple with Fanatics. You go to that website right there, mikeandaarondrive.com, and you do what?
Gotta click the F up there.
Absolutely, that's what you do. You click that F, and when you click that F, it takes you into the shop where you will buy everything from all your favorite teams, whether it be college football, which is back, the NFL, which is back, the MLB, which is heading into the playoffs, and of course, hockey and basketball will be here very soon. Everything you can desire, memorabilia, merchandise, apparel from all your favorite teams and all your favorite leagues. Go to mikeandaarondrive.com today and click that Fanatics logo.
Aaron, the hockey apparel. Have they chosen who's going to make the sweaters this year yet, or are we still on the fence about that? What?
I thought this was Reebok's last year.
No,
Or
they
did-
said.
what?
I'm pretty sure it's this year now. I think they got to change it.
Oh, then
It
no.
might be.
I thought they decided not to renew the contract, but probably Nike will jump in there.
You think? I'm guessing Nike too. But other people were like trying to throw these websites I'd never heard of, which I guess are
I'd like to
good.
see them go back to the CCM days.
Everyone says that, man. You guys got to get out your heads. Come on now.
It's the OG, man. Sometimes the old school vibe is just what you needed. You just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, but Nike's taking over.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but okay. I mean, I like Nike. Trust me, I like Nike, but you never really want to monopolize the only. I mean, yes, you can get everything at Fanatics, but Nike, I don't see anything Nike. If Nike monopolizes the jersey marketplace for the Big Four, jerseys might be real expensive.
Ooh. There's also a real quick rumor that Fanatics might try to dip their toes in the officially making jerseys. I doubt that, but it'd be interesting to see.
Look, I like Fanatics apparel. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously. I'm not saying that just because they're our sponsor. I have a few Fanatics NHL jerseys, and with all due respect, if they become the officially licensed partner, they have to step their game up. They're very nice for a fan, but from a legitimate on-ice replica, no, they need some work.
Right. Fair enough. Hey, Kyle Guy got a that's why I got a jersey, so that's cool. Let's get into it though. Friday, there's some college football. There's a game with Boise State in New Mexico, but this one's is close to home for the person to. Would that be my left or right? I'm not sure. It depends on which way you're looking at. It's my right, but it's their left probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm looking at you, so theoretically, I would be on your left as the show is broadcasted.
Okay. So I said to say it's UCF, and they're hosting Louisville, as Aaron tells me I have to pronounce.
Louisville.
So annoying.
There's no Vills. I know.
Louisville. Okay, that's good. Speaking of Louisville, they are 5.5 points underdogs here. The total is set at 61.5. I love the Cardinals quarterback Malik Cunningham. Last year, I remember talking about him on the show. He had 39 total touchdowns, and 20 of those were rushing, and only threw 6 picks, had about 4,000 total yards. But against Syracuse, I don't know if Syracuse is a good defense all of a sudden, but he wasn't very good. Now, you guys have a transfer from Ole Miss. Well, I guess Matt Corral took that guy's job. But it's is it Rice or Rice Plumlee?
John Rice Plumlee.
Okay. John Rice Plumlee had a good game against SC State. Showed a dual threat, albeit, like I said, against SC State. For me, Aaron, I actually like the over. I love both these quarterbacks. If John Rice Plumlee is any good from what he was last week, I believe this over could hit. It might sweat. But I don't know. How good's your defense out of Central Florida?
Yeah, I don't know about this one. This one's tough because you're right. Malik Cunningham, from what we saw last week, any defense with half a pulse could probably keep him in check. I know that 20 rushing touchdowns is nothing to be, scoff at, I guess you could say. But, you sit here and you look at this team in UCF, and hell, they've got a bunch of SEC transfers. John Rice Plumlee comes from Ole Miss. Their 2 leading receivers in the first game against South Carolina State. You had Javon Baker, Alabama transfer. You had Kamore Gamble, came from Florida. 84 yards, 82 yards, and a touchdown each, respectively. I am curious how Louisville is going to put up points here. And that's not a disrespect to Malik Cunningham. That's really more of a testament to the UCF defense, as well as the fact that Malik wasn't able to find his targets against Syracuse, who's not generally known for stifling defenses. Now, you can kind of maybe give them some slack being the first weekend of the college football season for them. So I'm looking, this game will be close. However, I do think close in my definition is UCF by 7 to 10 points. So I'm
It's not
leaning.
your AM Drive 5 tomorrow, is it?
It might be. I don't know.
Oh. I've already made my AM Drive 5 full disclosure. I've been so excited for this whole week coming up. But you might have to, I might have to throw a few shekels on UCF because I like the -7. Now that you're saying that, I like that. I'll take 5.5 for sure.
Well, and the thing is I really like a lot of the board in the NFL this week, so I might have to just squeeze in a couple of college picks. There is one game that we won't talk about today that will be on my AM Drive 5, so you can definitely bet that you can get prepared for that one tomorrow. We won't talk about it today.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna love Thursday and Fridays on the show, man.
Don't forget Tony Johnson Fridays too. Football Friday. What did we call it last year?
Friday Football Frenzy featuring Tony Johnson. How about
that? There you go. That's such a mouthful.
Oh, it won't be on the graphic. It'll just be in my mouth. That's all.
That's what she said.
Woo! Any last words for the Knights? Well, now it's your. I think. So you think they win comfortably? They need no more parting shots.
So, like I said, I don't know if the game necessarily will be a blowout. That's not anything I see in this one. But I think comfortably when I say that, they keep kind of that. I say this a lot. That arm's length. They're up by 6 to 10 points all game.
I dig it. And you know your stuff over there. At noon Eastern on Saturday, it's #1 Alabama Crimson Tide. It's Steve Sarkisian, hi Nick Saban, and the Longhorns. You ever seen the picture of the quarterback who plays for Texas, Quentin Ewers?
Yeah, the Mohawk.
I thought it was a mullet.
Mullet, Mohawk, whatever. They're all the same. They're all
stupid. Not. I mean, either way, I'm not wearing one, but I think mullet's a little bit different than a Mohawk.
That's fair.
And to be fair, mullets are also coming back around here in Georgia. Do not recommend. I'm sorry, kids. That's not old man yelling at the cloud. That's just saying for your own safety. Just don't do it.
My brother rocked a mullet his senior year of high school. And yeah, it's... let me just say, and he could, but let me just say not everybody could pull off that look.
Ooh. So in this game, of course, Alabama was 20-point favorites despite being on the road. This is College Game Day location, if I'm not mistaken. And you dropped me a little nugget after the show yesterday that Pat McAfee's joining College Game Day, which is pretty cool because him and Kirk Herbstreit get along pretty well. I don't know if Lee Corso still. I think Lee Corso is still doing it this year, but he's getting old. But I think Pat McAfee and Kirk Herbstreit are going to have a ball this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Corso's been getting old for the better part of half a decade here at this point. The Pat McAfee, like he's a taste you either like or you don't like, and
love him.
I like Pat McAfee. I feel like he brings that bro energy that all the college guys like. I like Pat McAfee. I enjoy listening to him. I don't know if he makes me want to watch College Game Day any more than I already really don't watch it.
As a Colts fan, as a person who has grown to love him more by watching his show, I'll probably tune in a few times more than I wouldn't have last season. That's like 3 times this year, probably. That's if I'm up on a Saturday.
Well, that's the thing is I'm kind of busy, and I'm not up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So
true.
It's nothing against Pat McAfee. To me, and maybe it's just, I don't know, as you get older, like College Game Day to me doesn't seem like, while it is the premier show to watch before college football starts, it doesn't seem to me like it's the most informative show.
It's not really necessary. I agree with that.
So
it's a fun ride, but if you don't like it, you probably don't watch it.
It's become entertainment more so than the top. They talk to sports obviously, and I think Kirk Herbstreit tries to keep it on the rails. But I feel like Desmond Howard, I feel like his biases always show through and leak, and they always want to tell us about all the the great story. It's like kind of like ESPN's thing, like they want to find the feel goods and all this other stuff. Which that's fine, I get it, but I don't know. Maybe pregame shows for me have just gone by the wayside.
That's a good point. That's for me too, and I used to like them more than I do now. So, Bryce Young in this game, by the way, had an insane week 1 against Utah State, who I keep telling people led the league in sacks last year. He had 195 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. If that wasn't good enough, 100 more rush yards and a rushing touchdown. I say he's pretty on his way for a Heisman run as well. Again, I don't like the Steve Sarkisian coach at Alabama thing, and I heard he was singing the praises of Nick Saban this week. I've got Alabama minus 20 in this one, but I'm not going to go to this game. I'm not going to bet this game either way. I might go under 65.5 because I don't think Texas offense is going to have a stand a chance. But I don't know. I'm leaning Bama minus 20 and under 65.5.
Yeah, I mean, this is the classic case. We've been talking about it for years. It's like, do I really want to watch Alabama go on the road into a theoretical hostile environment and lay 20? No. But do I feel comfortable being on the other side? No. So, I mean, it's Bryce Young could come out and throw for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns against Texas just as easily as he did against Utah State. And I know you're piping up this Utah State thing. Like, yeah, okay, they led the league in sacks last year. Let's not get ridiculously hung up on that. The fact of the matter is Bama is a team that is men amongst boys against primarily everybody they play this season. I probably would lean. That's the Alabama's defense is so good this year too. Like, Will Anderson and company are just.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with this one, and I don't really feel comfortable being on any side of it. Like, it's either back Saban or don't bet it. Like, I could see Texas trying to say, hey, we're back by even just hanging tight. Like, if they only lose by 10, like, say this game's like 34-24. Like,
I'm gonna have the head of every Alabama player on the show on Monday.
But like Texas could theoretically claim we're back. Like, remember, this is a preview of SEC football. Like, Texas is heading to the SEC.
Whoa.
Like, this is a recruiting
statement.
This is a recruiting statement. Even if they can hang tough with Alabama, even if they only lose by 2 touchdowns, like, they're 20-point dogs in their own building. Like, I don't feel comfortable being on any side of this one. I mean, I don't even want to lean. Like, every time I've backed anyone against Nick Saban, he has rubbed my nose in it. So I'll just enjoy a good game here.
A good game. I handicapped this game at 28 points, and that was taking into account all of the above. I thought I was being generous to Texas. And they give me a 20. I'm like, sure.
I'll take 28. I think I would take 28 if I would take the points with 28. 20, I don't know.
I'm saying, yeah, 20. That's what I'm saying. It's tough. Like, you're not gonna give me 21, like just 20.
Yeah. We just go with the tried and true Alabama first half. It's probably minus 10.
You said tried and true. That's true, because that's what they did in the first half against Utah State.
That's what they do every week. Alabama first half is like death and taxes, man.
Love it. That's enough of that, though. Also at noon, the Gamecocks don't fight chickens against number 16 Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas is minus 8 right here. Totals at 53. For South Carolina, hey, Spencer Rattler's back, and in full Spencer Rattler fashion, he threw 2 picks against Georgia State. Also, Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson, 3 passing touchdowns, including the game winner against the Cincinnati Bearcats last week, or what's left of them. In this game, this is actually one of my. I'm going to go under here because I feel like Spencer Rattler. I don't trust the Gamecocks at all. Well, I don't know what the heck is wrong with Spencer Rattler, dude. I'm glad he looks cool because he does not play cool, man. We've heard about this dude for over a year now, and he has done nothing. I picture Arkansas winning this game probably by 10 points or more.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one with Arkansas. KJ Jefferson really impressed me. They played a game against a Cincinnati team who, yes, are off the heels of a college football playoff appearance. Yes, there's no Desmond Ridder. Yes, there's no Jerome Ford. Probably let them hang around a little bit more than I felt comfortable. But let's look at the other side here. And you're right. I've never been a big Spencer Rattler guy. 35-14 over Georgia State. Okay, 3-touchdown victory. That looks not bad. But 2 blocked punt returns for touchdowns. That's not going to happen in this game.
Agreed.
So you're going to have to rely on this Spencer Rattler guy again. And you're right. Against an Arkansas defense, I just don't see it here. So I'm leaning Arkansas minus the points. I think they're going to win, by 10-17 here in this spot. So, give me the Razorbacks. Pig Suey moves on here. They're going to be 2-0.
Pigs. Pig Suey. Okay, cool. I like that. I'm sorry. That got me good.
That's their mantra. Pig Suey.
The 7 Eastern, number 20, Kentucky Wildcats, RAR. Oh, this is tough. The number 12, Florida Gators. Coach, I wish I remember the coach's name for Florida, the raw guy. Who is it now?
Billy Napier?
Yeah, Billy Napier. Billy Napier, credit to the fans. And one of the guys who was requested to come on this podcast, Mr. Devin, who played for the Effingham Outlaws I broadcasted for, was at that Florida game when they beat Utah. They got to see Cam Newton's lookalike, Anthony Richardson, who is the fastest 6'4" person with that body I probably have seen. But Lamar is like, 6'1"? This guy looks like not as fast as Lamar, but he's pretty fast for a guy of that size. It just doesn't happen very often. But he had a big game against Utah. For Kentucky, this dude, Will Lewis, I've heard it seem like he's a 5-year starter as well, but hey, he threw an interception against Miami of Ohio. Didn't see the interception, might not have been his fault, but a pick is a pick. And I feel like -6 though is kind of cheating. Did Vegas do something we don't? Because my only -6 can just be Utah. I'm not sure about that.
So, this is a tough one because Kentucky's not a slouch. And,
Agreed.
Obviously they're going to be without their top guy, Chris Rodriguez, figure out what's going on with this guy. He got a DUI in the offseason, and he hasn't played in week 1. He's not going to play in week 2, and it's really not a timetable for him returning. And on the flip side, you look at the Florida Gators and how low everyone was on Anthony Richardson before this Utah game is really just such a funny sight to see, because even home cooking guys like the Gator fans were just not impressed with Anthony Richardson. Now, last year, this team was not good last year. But, have they really taken that great of a step, or is that more of a testament to Utah not being as good as we thought they were, or is it a testament to week 1? Anthony Richardson is a talented quarterback. Is he going to be a pro quarterback? I don't think so.
Me too.
But, this one, I'm tending to lean toward the Gators being at home, but it's going to be close. Like, this thing could flip-flop right over that 6 pendulum. I think you're looking probably Florida maybe like 28-20. Like, it's not going to be – I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Kentucky's going to give them a little bit of a game here.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them last year. I don't think they're going to give them an L, but –
I said hell, not an L.
Oh, they said they're going to give them an L. It's to me, it's this game. This game used to be a bye week for Florida. For like 25 years, they beat them in a row. I think it was like 25, 28 years they beat Kentucky every single year. Not so much the case anymore. Mark Stoops has done a hell of a job at Kentucky. If this game obviously were in Kentucky and UF was getting 6, I'd be all over the home dog here. But I think Florida gets a close, gritty win. And hell, they might even be losing like midway through the third quarter in this game.
That's where I was leaning. I might like the late cover because of the comeback. I'm thinking like 28-27. Like,
Okay.
I mean, the late cover on the total, that is. So I feel like Kentucky might have their way for a little bit. Because like you said, if you look at the Utah game, all I heard the broadcasters say was this quarterback for Utah, this quarterback for Utah. That dude was horrible.
Cam Rising was fine. Cam Rising was fine. He was fine.
I do have the Florida defense, and that's what concerns me about this game. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be like a 3-point victory here. I don't like the -6. I feel like they're asking me to take 6, and I don't want it.
That sounded like in the beginning you thought it was shady that they were only given 6.
No. I meant like I don't like that it seems so easy to just take this. No, I'm not stupid. I've learned.
I mean, I can see where your mind is thinking that. I mean, that's not a huge spread as far as Okay, break it down. Break the spread down here and look at this. I mean, traditionally in college, they give you 3 points for the home cooking. So let's take that away. On a neutral field, they're saying UF's about a field goal better than Kentucky. I think that's appropriate. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the spread's so far off. I think I'm not going to be betting this game, but I think I think Florida can get a 7 to 10, 8 to 10 point victory here.
Well, I also feel like they want you to say, "Oh yeah, see, they're going to win by a touchdown because they just beat number 7 Utah." I'm like, yeah, okay,
Well, sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't beat number 20 Kentucky by exactly a touchdown.
The only reason why Florida's even number 12 is because they beat a Utah team that wasn't.
Well, sure, they literally jumped. I don't know where their preseason rankings. Yeah, I know they were unranked, but I mean, like, even though they're unranked, they're still theoretically ranked. They're just unranked in terms of the top 25. Like, the rankings exist past the top 25. That's how,
True.
Like, a team who's in the 70s and wins a game, is not going to jump into the top 25, even if they beat the number 5 team in the nation.
You're saying they might have been like number 28 and jumped.
They might have been 28 to 30, and then beating the number, I think, Utah was like 7 team in the country. They may have catapulted a little too far, but the problem I have is if they beat Kentucky this week, and depending on all the things that happen, are they a top 10 team come next week? I don't know. I don't think so.
Nope. No, in college football they might be, but no.
Yeah. So yeah, I would lean UF -6. Maybe even if you can find another play like Arkansas, maybe the 2 team 6-point teaser, UF victory, and Arkansas -2. That could be something you look through.
You don't like the over 52.5 late cover, or you're not going to touch that?
This feels like a defensive battle to me.
Well, it is in the swamp, and that helps.
And the Gators play pretty good defense. So.
Yeah. At 7:30, number 10 USC and Lincoln Riley, who just slapped me in the face last week in my Android 5, will take on Stanford in a game where the Trojans are -8. The total is at 67.5. That's a lot of points for a Cardinal team that I could have swore last time I checked was decent on defense at least, right? But here's the thing about USC. Against that Rice team, they allowed 146 rushing yards. And I think Stanford likes to be a physical team. So obviously you can do USC -8, but let's say they win by 7, I still think you're going to get the under here. I think Stanford can keep this one to be a tough battle, but I think the USC Trojans can still get theirs. We'll have to see, but I'm going to go under.
I don't hate that play. That's a big number to put up for, like we saw, like you said, we saw Rice, and Rice is just everybody's doormat, it seems, every year. Sorry. I mean, they really should be relegated to FCS play at this point, although their baseball team is phenomenal. That being said, like, this is a spot where I think a lot of people are just going to want to back the favorite. It's Lincoln Riley. It's Caleb Williams. They put up 66 last week. But Stanford, I mean, David Shaw has had the Trojans number. I know he's only 7-5 against the USC, but like he's beaten some teams, USC teams that had promise. Like he's beaten Sam Darnold's USC team. Like, it's to me, I think I would lean with the home dog in this spot. Consistency in coaching. I'm not saying that David Shaw is a better coach than Lincoln Riley. I'm not necessarily saying he's a worse coach. As of right now, in the new spot, I tend to lean with a little bit more consistency as far as covering this number. So I would probably take Stanford +8. I don't hate taking under 67.5 as well.
I like how I'm learning this year. I've learned from my mistakes last year. I feel like now that I'm more on your side, I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it doesn't make me right. I would probably tend to lean with the home dog catching greater than a touchdown.
Agree with you there. Were you impressed with USC against Rice, or you just going to view it as a doormat game?
I mean, it's good to see that they didn't struggle with Rice. That's the thing is
right.
It's the classic. You don't need to put up 66, but if you win a game 49-7, 7 or 49-10, you did what you needed to do. And if you're only winning a game like 28-10, then yeah, something might have been problematic here in this spot. I'm impressed, kind of. I mean, them all being able to come together. Obviously, the college has no preseason, but them all being able to come together and put up 66 points is great. I mean, Caleb and Addison have seemed to find rapport. Travis Dye is had a good game. So yeah, I have no real problems with that. But do I believe that USC is the number 10 ranked team in the country? No.
Agree with that as well. Okay, so back to the 3:30 game. How about number 24 Tennessee with quarterback Hendon Hooker against number 17 Pittsburgh, aka Pitts, with Kadon Slovis, baby. Oh, world beater Kadon Slovis. Yeah. No. Tennessee -6, and the over-under is 66.5. And this is, I feel like Tennessee's going to curb stomp this team. I really do. Pittsburgh just had a problem with West Virginia. I really think Tennessee. I'm not really necessarily high on Tennessee because I don't know how high you can be considering they're in the SEC East with Florida and Georgia and Kentucky, but I think Tennessee is good enough to win by 10 to 17 points.
I'm going to go ahead and throw last week's statement of Pitt's defense is just as good as it was last year's out the window here. I'm rolling with the over in this one. Josh Heupel is a run and gun, air it out guy with his quarterback, like you said, Hendon Hooker. I think Kidon's going to get unleashed here. I think he's 350 and 3 touchdowns this weekend. I'm thinking we're looking at 44-37 kind of game. I think it's going to be back and forth. And so I'll take the over on that 66.5 right now.
I like that as well. But I still feel, even if I don't get I believe even if this game is a shootout, I like that a lot. I like that. That's a good point. But I'll go -6 for Tennessee. I think they win by 7.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, they're going on the road, and in these kind of these high-scoring games in these environments, just getting out of there alive is sometimes the play. I don't care if you win by 1 or if you win by 10. If they're in a high-scoring shootout, it might be where they have to come back at the end or hold off a Pitt team that's trying for a game-winning touchdown versus a game-tying touchdown. I tend to probably lean with Pitt plus the money there, the home dog, or plus the money, plus the points.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm all over the over on this one.
I like it. So in the next segments, rumor on the street is after we picked our playoff teams yesterday, it's only right that we pick the conference champions, right? That's all?
Seems legit.
I'm thinking we pick a Super Bowl champion too. So that should be fun. When we come back to the AM Drive, we're picking the Super Bowl champion. You do not want to miss it. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
And welcome back to the best morning show ever. We are happy to tell you again about WagerWire, who's building an easy-to-use sports betting marketplace. For the first time ever, you'll be able to buy and sell bets. WagerWire shows you your best bets in one portfolio by syncing with your favorite sports books. Enter your email at wagerwire.com to get early access and also be entered to join a Week 3 WagerWire Live featuring legendary quarterback from NFL, Brett Favre. That should be fun. Oh!
He can't be that legendary. He didn't make your top 15 players.
You throw like 300 interceptions. That's usually what tends to happen, as you saw with my number one player. So, you forgot about Aaron Rodgers, didn't you?
You ever wonder why Aaron Rodgers never picks up his cell phone?
Why?
Because he can't get to it after one ring.
You schmuck. Okay. Hey, they're here. NFL predictions. Aaron, yesterday we gave our playoff teams. Today we got to put our money where our mouth is. It's all happening. Give me your let's do NFC champions first. Give me your NFC champions for 2022-23 season.
Well, my NFC champion's a dark horse. Everything kind of has to go right with this team, and they're in a relatively beatable division. Let's say that. Coming back off injury, the quarterback needs to have a big season. So my NFC conference champions are the New Orleans Saints.
Wow. Over, you know who they beat, or you're just picking the Saints?
Oh, I got to do all that?
You don't have to. I'm just saying.
I never really put everything together, but I think it'll be Saints over 49ers, let's call it. I don't know. The divisions and the seedings will all be weird.
I did the seedings.
Okay.
And I'm going to go this year. I don't like doing this because I think it's kind of stupid at this point. But last year's NFC divisional round featured a game where Aaron Rodgers, punter, decided that he wanted to have the last laugh. He had blocked, and 49ers won the game. And 49ers were then beat by the Rams in the NFC Championship game.
I think Aaron Rodgers' offense had the last laugh. Laughing at themselves.
You're funny. So this year, I believe they meet in the NFC Championship game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good year. I don't know if he's going to win another MVP, but I wouldn't put it past him. I think voter fatigue would get to that point. But Aaron, you're not going to like this. Well, actually, I'm not going to like this, and you're probably going to love it. I got 49ers as 7-1 dogs to make the Super Bowl and make Aaron Rodgers lose another NFC Championship game.
Yeah, why would I hate that?
Yeah, I know. I got 49ers to make the Super Bowl. But I think if you listen to one of my Mike and Tens I did on our audio exclusives, I said that Trey Lance is very reminiscent of Patrick Mahomes. Not saying he'll beat Patrick Mahomes, but you replace a quarterback who just couldn't get the job done with an offensive genius as your coach. It's lining up for me.
If you want to really impress me, you'd have said Trey Lance gets hurt week 13 and Jimmy Garoppolo leads them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. AFC, sir.
AFC, this one's tougher. I mean, there's a lot of good teams. They ain't it, bro. Sorry.
Oh, no, man.
There's a lot of good teams that you could really plug and play here in this spot. But I'm going to go back to the well. I think a fully healthy Baltimore Ravens team that sat atop the AFC before Lamar Jackson went down in a contract year, in a prove-it year, if he doesn't get this extension done, which it's looking more and more bleak by the day. I think they set a Friday deadline, which is tomorrow, to get this done before waiting till the offseason. I think the Ravens will be the opponent to my New Orleans, not my New Orleans Saints, but my pick of the New Orleans Saints. Saints-Ravens Super Bowl.
I like that. A little bit too East Coast for me. NFL might have something to say about that with a couple calls here and there, but I like it. So, I'm okay. I've floated between three teams. I'll be completely honest with my AFC.
Well, that's not a bad thing to say because the AFC's got the better teams. In my opinion.
I have really considered the Bills, but they have a 3 running back thing going. I don't like that. I just don't. I don't think that's sustainable. I think adding Von Miller to the defense means their defense is all of a sudden the best in the world and can stop Patrick Mahomes. I've got the Colts, but I'm like, if the Colts are catching fire right then, I really have to trust their wide receivers. I'll be honest, I don't. And if they caught fire by that point, I think they would have just gone on and got to the Super Bowl, but I don't think they're that good. And also look at the Ravens. We're 9-1. It's kind of sketchy, but I like their team.
A weird word, sketchy.
I like their The Ravens have just a good team. People are like, oh, he lost Hollywood Brown. Okay, cool. Lamar Jackson can get a first down anytime he wants to. They have J.K. Dobbins, the defensive secondary, which can match those top passing teams. I think Ravens beat the Bills in the AFC Championship game to play, the lights out game, the 49ers.
You get a 2012 repeat, eh?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. It really all, and it sounds crazy, it really all goes with the quarterback. I mean, can Trey Lance guide this team much like Colin Kaepernick? I mean, remember the Colin Kaepernick years, well, I guess about 10 years ago, where the defense was strong. You had Frank Gore. You had, just a plethora of talent all around this young quarterback. It's a very similar situation to what the 49ers are going through right now.
So, who's going to win? You got Saints in there.
I do have the Saints in there. Ultimately, they will fall short. Ravens are my champions again this year.
I'm so happy for you. You actually did it. I'm like, I didn't think I wanted you to do it, but I didn't know if you were actually going to do what you did last year. Like, please stay faithful. Please stay faithful.
And Lamar Jackson is going to be getting $55 million a year come this time next year after they win the Super Bowl. Yeah, make it 60. Yeah, you're right. Give the guy a third of the cap at this point.
No. Even though Tyler Huntley's just sitting there pretty.
Tyler Huntley will be trade bait for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Ravens. Are we both going to pick the Ravens here? Kyle Shanahan once led an offense that was up 28-3 over a Bill Belichick defense in the Super Bowl. Trey Lance, as I said, is very reminiscent of Patrick Mahomes. Again, I don't think he'll win the MVP. I don't think he's going to come close to that kind of success. But winning the Super Bowl, yes. It's time. Kyle Shanahan, this is his year, man. If things start going right with Trey Lance, I don't see a scenario where 49ers just don't at least even get to the NFC Championship game. I think that's the floor for them this year if Trey Lance does what we think he can do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that if Trey Lance is competent and just doesn't lose games, they're the best team in the NFC.
Agreed. Completely agreed. I love it. We still have more to talk about tomorrow.
Absolutely. We've got Tony Johnson on our first
Woo!
Friday football frenzy of the year. We'll recap this Bills-Rams game that's going to happen tonight. Hopefully we get fireworks, but we'll see what happens. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have the AM Drive 5, which you don't want to miss, and of course, all of the picks and previews for Sunday's game. And don't forget, Friday afternoon here, evening over on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, on our Twitter at AM Drive TV, sponsored by WagerWire, is the first ever weekend kickstart. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be an awesome conversation with a lot of guys and gals on Twitter. So make sure that you jump in there at AM Drive TV at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, if you love football. But until then, until tomorrow, visit MikeandAaronDrive.com to support the socials, support the sponsors, and everything related to the AM Drive. So until then, I am Aaron Crouch. That is Michael Carvelis to my right. My production right. He's over there. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But until then, make sure that you always
Drive safe.